Boy, I tell you, nothing pisses me off probably more than government regulations and controls. I mean, taxes are one thing. That can, get me riled up. That can get me fired up. But regulations and controls over private businesses, that seriously gets my ire. Gets me going. Gets me fired up. And that's why I'm going to go at this topic today, which was Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy proposed for Congress to have warning labels placed on social media sites to quote unquote protect the youth of America, the young people, the children, people under 13 or people under 18 or people under 21, whatever you want to classify it as. He wants to put a warning label on Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, all the different social media products, X, all of them. That's just horrendous. That is horrific. That if that's going to go through, that I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that doesn't happen. If I have to go to Washington D.C. myself and declare you're out of your goddamn minds if you pass this, and you're also out of your minds for a lot of other reasons, but especially because of this. There's a reason why it's a constitution. There's a reason why there's a Bill of Rights, and the reason why the greatest probably expression of human thought politically, the Declaration of Independence are all in place to protect individual rights, not stamping all over them, not stomping all over them, but protecting those individual rights. If a child is so worried about being bullied online, get off the goddamn phone. Get off the iPad or the the Samsung, whatever the case may be, the Google, Pixel or whatever. I don't even know what the hell they got. But get off the laptop, get off the MacBook. Just stop. And then where are the parents? Parents should be in complete control of all of this. They should be dictating. Well, maybe it's not the best word, but they should be directing their child on how to best govern themselves on the internet. And you have like different people say, "Oh, well, there are kids that get bullied and everything like that." Well, I'm not going to say let them kill themselves, but like that's the nature of being a kid. That's how we rooted out, the weak from the chaff, and the weak from the obsolete, as the late great Mr. Notorious B.I.G. used to say. That's how you get to understand which one is which. Now, I was too busy doing a lot of work in schools. I was doing extracurricular work, and I got presidential principal awards. I was voted best all-around male. I'm patting myself on the back right now, because I am that guy. I just attract that because I'm positive and real and truth. And I'm a Marine, so it comes with the territory. You'll get people that will not bully you, but just like, encourage you. Really, they're encouraging you to be strong. If they're saying something negative against you, you say, okay, it's either true or I gotta, go against what they're saying. That's the reality. So that's what kids are supposed to do today. They're supposed to be very vigilant over their own lives. And their parents are supposed to be even more vigilant over their child's life, unless they don't care about their child. But for the government to institute some kind of regulation, some kind of control over the social media sites, to have Mark Zuckerberg grilled in front of Congress. Mark Zuckerberg grilled in front of Congress, one of the most productive human beings in history, being grilled by people that probably don't know the difference between an escape key and the return key. Maybe not be able to even find where they are on a keypad. Like, that's how serious it is. But this is what makes me pissed off even more, is the fact that instead of worrying about who could attack us one day, who could possibly end our lives through nuclear war or an invasion or something like that, or the domestic scene. How many people are getting killed in the streets by gun violence and other ways of violence, other acts of initiation of physical force. That's what I'm talking about. Why aren't we concerned more with that rather than putting a label on social media so little Erica doesn't slit her wrists because Jessica was talking about her, and Jessica and Tamika and Jackson were all calling her names, and she couldn't take it, so she slit her wrist in the bathtub, or hung herself, or or drowned in the family pool or something stupid. Like, what is that about? What is that about? That's not for the government to do. That's the opposite of what the government should do. Should not be able to regulate on what social media sites that children frequent. That is an aberration, an overstep, an overbearing sense of government for them to do that. That is completely disgusting and despicable. And like I said, that really pisses me off because there's people planning an even bigger 9/11, 2001. Let me say that. I have to say 9/11 2001 because, there's kids 18, 19 years old that were born in 2005, 2006. And they have no clue what the impact of September 11th really was. They didn't know it firsthand. They didn't live the day. I'm aware of it. I lived the day among millions of others, billions of others, really, that lived the day, lived through that, and experienced what happened during the whole time period. They weren't even thought of yet. They weren't even born yet. And the ones that were born were too young to really reflect on how it was. They probably had a lesson in history class, probably had a unit, probably took over, this is where the sites were, this is where the buildings fell, this is, we're going to watch a video, we're going to watch United Flight 93, we're going to watch World Trade Center with Nicolas Cage. It's like that they're not going to ever fully understand. Just like I don't fully understand December 7th, 1941. I'll never understand that. I can watch Pearl Harbor. I can look at newsreels. I can look at read books about the attack on Pearl Harbor, but I'll never get to really understand it. I'll never really feel it. I'll never get to really get the impact of it, because I didn't live that day. I have a great grand aunt. Or is it just great? I have a great aunt. I have a great aunt. Let me correct that. I have a great aunt who lived that day. Lived through that day. She was, I think, 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old. And she probably couldn't understand it. Because at the age of 7, you're at the age of reason. So if you're 10 years old, you can probably understand what the effects were. So going back to this, Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, I can't say anything less to you, sir, than you're on the wrong path. You can't do this. You can't put a label. They already did it with cigarettes and alcohol. We all know how much people love cigarettes and alcohol. That's not a label's not going to stop some up. 21 and older. All right. I'm 21, I'm older. All right, I'll drink. Birth defects while pregnant. Okay, great, whatever. Same thing with smoking. Oh, okay. Lung cancer. Great, whatever. Emphysema, CPD, heart disease. Oh, great. I'm still gonna smoke. I'm still gonna do it. Bella Valentino, hi there. Are you watching the show? Did you just chime in? I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about, I'm pissed off. This is what gets me going. This is what gets me going on the show. This is what, I'm happy in my pissed off state. Cause it's easy. It's greater for me to convey this message with passion and fire, because I get really passionate about this. Regulations and controls are the worst things that happen to this country. OSHA, one of the worst organizations to ever be formed in history. This is exactly what I'm talking about. She said, oh, okay, ha ha ha. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, so that's what it is. But make sure you tell 2-3 people, don't tell 4 people. Anyway, tell 30 people, don't tell 31 people about the show. But anyway, yeah, I'm talking about kids on the internet, should be governed by their parents, the exact time limits, the exact, the time when you can use it during the day. Maybe you can't use it in the morning, maybe you can use it in the afternoon, maybe not in the evening. Maybe not at the dinner table. That's what they said. That's what he brought up. He said also it doesn't reach as far. It should go into the dinner table, go to the different what sites do you see and everything. That's all for the parent. That's not for the government to choose. And that's not for the government to go after these CEOs, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, I think his name is Evan Spiegel of Snapchat, and many others, but those are like the top, ones that are concerned in America. The top sites, for Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, Snapchat, Facebook, all different things like that, all these different entities. And there's more. There's many more. There's dozens more. But those are just the top. And the ones they go after. Like parents were like, oh, well, Mark Zuckerberg, my little boy, he hung himself because. Why did he hang himself? Because you didn't have the control over his life like you should have until he was fully grown, 18. But especially when he was 13, when he could sign up for the social media site. Why didn't you have that power back then? That would have saved his life. Not the government. The government should have no role in that. It should be protecting life. Salute.focus. Salute. He says they just dropped the draft bill. I don't even know about that. I didn't hear about that one. Oh boy. Let's talk about that some other day. We can talk about the draft another day. But I want to make sure I get these social media sites. What I'm on right now, this is technically a social media site. YouTube. This is Larry Page and God damn it, I'll look it up real quick. I can't remember his name. But this is Alphabet I'm talking about now. Sergey Brin. That's his name. Sergey Brin and Larry Page. So, there's no way. I hope. This is what I hope. If this regulation passes, if this regulation does go into law or go into effect, I want every site to shut down. Completely shut down until they lift it again. That has to happen. Until every site is free and able to use their services, convey their services, to implement their services. I think there should be a blackout. There should be a complete blackout. I think they did this before with internet proliferation, something with I can't remember what it's called. But web neutrality. They tried this on something else, but they're like all sites were down for like a whole almost 2 days, I think it was. Like every site you can think of. Wikipedia was down, YouTube was down, Google was down, Facebook was down. It was everything. Twitter at that time was down. It was like in 2012, 2013, something like that. But yeah, that needs to happen. We need to have that in place. Because this really pisses me off. There are people in this country right now, as we speak, nobody wants to talk about it, but they're planning an internal, there's of course the January 6th, they're planning, something bigger than that. And either way, if like when sports teams win, they wreck their own city. They burn cars, they turn over cars, they fight in the streets, even fan on fan, they could be fans of the same sport, of the same team. They mess up their own stuff. even in a victory. You don't want to see what the losing team does, but that's what the winning team does. So if even if Trump wins, which I don't care which way or the other, because it's going to be discussing them. Either one of them are qualified to be presidents or should have been presidents in the first place. They're completely inept. They're completely devoid of moral character and backbone and spines. They don't represent individual rights. I don't think they have a clue even what those two words mean put together. I mean, it should just be rights, but we have to distinguish individual rights from the litany, the whole long list of different rights that people like say: gay rights, black rights, white rights. I mean, how many times do you hear that? You don't hear that much, but that's a fact. I mean, that people use. But just to name a few. But individual rights pertain to only the individual, only the the single person, the single entity, human being that has a brain and can function and live their lives. Even somebody that's brain dead or in a vegetative state is still an individual until they're dead. Then they're nothing. They're non-existent. But as long as somebody still has some capacity of living, of life, that is an individual. And they have no clue what that means. They know how to, Trump wants to talk about being a dictator, and Biden can't even understand where to find dictator in a dictionary, probably. I dump on both of them. I say a pox on both houses. Everybody's like, oh, what are you for, Biden or Trump? That's like saying, do you want to be killed by being set on fire or being frozen to death? And I mean that in both. In Trump's case, it's like it's being set on fire, and Biden is like being frozen to death. But there are people, foreign and domestic, terrorists and criminals within this country that don't want to see this country do well. Don't want to see that. We've seen that already. I mean, the closest one was, even though it's not as many casualties, that's why it wasn't that big of a. I don't know. They don't do the ceremonies every year like September 11th, but the Boston marathon bombing, that was a very crucial time. I'm reading a book called Mayhem right now, detailing the events that occurred during that time period. All right, that's the same one. Okay, I like it. Yeah, this pisses me off to no end. To no end. I hate government when it doesn't do its function. Why aren't we worrying about even not even as pressing as somebody blowing up this country and terrorizing the nation? But let's talk about the debt ceiling and the debt crisis and all these different things about the money cycle. Why is the country expending so much? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about the fact that we should be, curtailing the amount of money that should be spent and creating new opportunities for people to maximize opportunities? Not, what is it called? Just being a land of opportunity, but maximizing opportunities. That's the whole thing. That's the whole idea. That's what makes it special. And not this goddamn regulation and control over the social media sites. That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. That should never be. I'm wishing. I wish they would pass something like this. I will go down to Washington, D.C. one day or not. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I will go down to Washington, D.C. myself and let them know what you're doing is wrong. Okay, little Sally. Okay, little Shaniqua. Okay, you pick up your daddy's gun and you shoot your brains out. Why? Because somebody didn't have a label for the social media? You think that's going to stop? kids from committing suicide if that was the case? It's just like people that smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, like I said. People gonna drink, people gonna smoke. People gonna commit suicide no matter what the label says or not. Oh, there's a label on here. Oh, I could get in trouble. Somebody could make fun of me. Somebody could embarrass me. Somebody could humiliate me online. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh well, I'm still going to jump out in traffic and get hit by a car on purpose, or hold a gun up, to somebody else, and then let them go free, and then point it at the police, and then have it suicide by cop. Like, labels, and this is not even the main point. This is not even the main point. The main point is government should not be able to do anything to private industry but protect those private industries, protect them and against force or fraud and anything like that, and to protect individual rights. That's it. That's it. Nothing more. And I have a 0 right now on the viewers, and so I'm gonna need you in rebroadcast land to share this video to as many people as you possibly can. But don't share too many. Just enough. Just enough people. Okay, so I'm really riled up. I'm really got my ire up. Got me firing on all cylinders now. Going back and forth now. Going with it. Cause it's too much. It's too much bullshit to me. Steady work. The generals, not the Surgeon General, but the generals and the directors of the FBI and the directors of the CIA, they should be the ones, not putting labels on anything, but they should be the one. The focus should be on them protecting our rights. Make sure that we don't have criminals in this country and domestic terrorists or domestic criminals across from around the world that want to do us harm. No, we gotta talk about the kids on Twitter, on TikTok. That's the main draw. That's the most important thing in the world. That's more pressing than anything else. That makes the most sense. That draws the most eyeballs and ear hustles. I got one person in here. 4 likes. I'm not mad. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. Excuse my creaking chair, but yeah, this is where the buck stops. This is where it has to stop. The insanity has to stop here. You have to have that mindset, that mentality to say, I'm a parent. I have a 12-year-old kid. Next year they'll be able to go online, go on to different websites, 13 years old, with my permission. Not like they're 18. But they have to be 13 with parental permission, as far as I know. It could be something different. But as far as I know, you have to be 13 years old and your parents' permission. They have to sign off digitally or something like that. I don't know what the case may be. I waited till I was 18. That was when Web 2.0 was starting. That's when YouTube was in its infancy. That's when Facebook was established, but it was still in mostly in colleges. MySpace was slowly dying at that time. X wasn't X at the time. Twitter, it was just coming into being. So I mean, I didn't really realize what it was until 2009. I didn't join Facebook until 2008. I was an adult at that time, both of those time periods. But I think when you're 13, you're already thinking about sex. You're already thinking about your career. You're already thinking about, you're planning your life out, essentially at 13. Some 13-year-olds raise their younger siblings. They're already in a parental role because their mom and dad are either working too much or they're, that's a positive. I mean, to an extent, you don't want to be a workaholic. You want to be very productive, but you don't want to be, too much. But or they're strung out on something and they have to take care of their younger siblings. So they're already adults in a sense in a lot of ages. They're preparing meals, they're changing diapers, they're cleaning up the house. There's, making sure everything is all together. Emerson West, hi, sweetheart. Slow that down, honey. I don't go that way. But that threw me. But anyway, that's what's the truth. That is reality. That the government has no role in playing, the CEO. The CEO of these corporations. Most corporations govern themselves very well. YouTube, ask me, is this for kids or no? Is this not for kids? That's a regulation, not imposed by the government, but that's a regulation imposed by YouTube that can select whether it's for or not for children. Oh my God, it's 80-year-old Eminem from Doomsday. Oh, that was funny. Who is that? What does that say? Alack MLG. I'm just call you Lack. But this is what I'm talking about. The hate room, the haters. They're gonna hate. That's their job. You should be motivated, kids. You're 13 years old. Oh my God. Oh my. They called me a name. They said I'm this and that. I'm not worthy of living. I have to kill myself now. And of course, the parents are excuse me. I don't want to curse. I'm this out of anger again. The parents are getting distraught, and we have to do something. They're going back and forth, yelling at each other. The mom and the dad. Well, it was you. Why did you let her go on that site? I didn't let her go on that site. You said you gave her a phone. You gave her a phone. He just goes over and over and over again. It's not the fault of Mark Zuckerberg and Spiegel and Musk. It's not their fault. They're just providing a service that billions of people, literally billions of people, use every single day. And have your child, commit suicide, which is a tragedy and very sad. And I'm not making light of it, but I'm just pointing out the fact that it's not on the blood is not on their hands. It's on the parents' hands, if anybody. It's going to make it to where you literally are the new Eminem. What the hell? He would be the new me. If you're talking about the Doomsday video, that came out after I wore this getup. So he doesn't have the hat. So let that be known. Yeah, so I put it squarely on the parents. It's all the parents. Parents have everything to do with it. If I had to say whether the parents should lobby for the government to protect their children, I would say just no, just don't. And the Surgeon General calling for a label on social media sites? Are you kidding me? That is one of the worst things that could possibly happen. Like I said, there should be a blackout if it passes. If Congress, now, and I heard this from the great Troy Star, Mr. Troy Star Terrain. He said, he was saying how you raise your own effing kids. That's what he was saying. Raise your own effing kids. It's this that simple. Raise your own effing kids. I'm going to freak out. It's Drake 2.0. Well, that's cute, but doesn't mean anything to me. So that's what I want to say about the government control and regulations. All right, we have to talk about yesterday. Yesterday was a great day for me. I didn't even put up a video. I'm talking about it now. Father's Day, one of my favorite holidays, probably next to let me see, maybe Labor Day, July 4th. July 4th is my favorite holiday, actually. Because without July 4th, we wouldn't be here. There'd be no America, there'd be nothing. It'd be awful. It'd be great. It'd be terrible. So July 4th, it goes up there. But Monday, I just like the fact that there's a joke. There's a joke that says, what is the most confusing day in Harlem? Which is was at the time of the joke, predominantly black. I don't know if it's still predominantly black, but they changed it to North Manhattan now, mainly. But what is the most confusing day in Harlem? Father's Day. Ha 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 ha. But I say, hey, I've always had a father. He's always been there for me. He always has been the A and B, the C and D, above and beyond the Call of Duty. Like, he goes beyond, just to be a great dad. And that's why I appreciate him. I still live with my parents. I live with my dad. Like, that's really cool for me. Some people can't live with their dad. Their dad is either strung out, dead, or they never even met him. They don't even know who their father is. So I don't take any of that any of that lightly. I don't take it in vain. Because there are too many people that, just look at hip hop. Jay-Z, Eminem, DMX. The list goes on and on and on. Just a few examples. Had rocky or non-existent relationships with their fathers. And then they became fathers, and they were able to grow their children up and be wonderful fathers. The late great DMX, Earl Simmons. He had 12 kids, something like that? I can't remember. I'm just saying, I don't know how many right now. I didn't check. Maybe I'll check. I'll see. I think it's something like that, though. How many kids did DMX? He had 7. I was off by 4. He had 7. He had 7 kids. But he was a daddy to them somehow. I'm sure he was in their life some way, in a positive fashion. Jay-Z has 3 kids. A set of twins. And, oh, goddamn, what's her freaking name? What is it? I can only think of her auntie's name. Think of her name. Blue Ivy. Yeah, see, I was not going to say that. I totally forgot about her name. But that's fine. Blue Ivy. So that's definitely something to continue with. So 4 people in here, 4 likes, not bad. I'm feeling it. But yeah, Father's Day, it was wonderful. My brother-in-law came over with my sister and their 2 kids, and they're just bundles of joy. Little guy and little girl. So they were wonderful, and my dad is always playing up the granddad role. He's a granddad. So that's what I think is very helpful and very powerful to me. It just makes it that much better, that much more significant in reality. And he's a minister, and I'm an atheist, and we're gonna get ready for our reality show. But yeah, that's the reality. I mean, a lot of people say, "Well, think about your father. What would he? Why would you want to hurt him and say you're an atheist?" Well, I would be hurting him if I said I was not an atheist. If I was to be false and irresponsible and take on a persona that I'm not, that would be horrendous. That would be evil. That'd be vicious. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I'd probably commit suicide. And then he would be really hurt. So I have to live as an atheist, and he has to live, respect that. Like I respect the fact that he believes in some non-existent, extra dimension, some fantastical lands that don't really don't register in reality or in existence. But that's something else. We had a good time. We had food. We had there's a place in Newark, Delaware called Grain. This is my unofficial advertisement for them because they make great food, excellent food. I had their OMG burger. Magnifique. Excellent burger. It's got this fig jam to it. It's got these, double patties. And it's just the juiciest, most, scrumptious meal you can have. And there's also the this crab dip kind of thing you get with these chips. And it just is a great restaurant. So we had that. My brother-in-law had some food from one of the soul food kitchens in Delaware. I can't remember the names. I would say the name. I would give them a little bit of advertisement, but that was about it. So I think it's possible that you can be a role model. You can be a father. You can be a dad. You can be a daddy. I'm thinking about the food that he prepares. He still prepares food, for Sunday dinner especially. But he used to prepare food for every day of the week, except for maybe Saturday. Saturday used to be a potluck, but Sunday through Friday, it was on popping in the kitchen. Even if he had I remember we used to have toast with an open face sandwiches with turkey. Anybody remember those? For tasting more, it's encore. We had them encore dinners like crazy. We used to make them up, but he would put his own seasoning to them, and he would make sure the toast was just right. Like he wouldn't just I have to make a meal. Let me make it, whatever. He put his heart, he put his soul into it. He put his mind to it, and that was everything he did. It was for the clothes we wore, for my sister's hairdo. He did himself. He made sure that her hair looked nice and everything. And one of the I think her second grade teacher remarked, was like, her hair is always so nice. It's always so well placed and so well made up and everything like that. So that's just like the little intricacies of parenthood. But overall, my dad taught me about virtues and values according to the Christian way of life, but it was a foundation nonetheless. It was what he knew. It was what he tried to, understand and institute. Emerson West, are you a female? I can't remember. Are you a female? Emerson West, 18. Are you a female? Let me know if you're a female or not, please. Emerson West, 18. Okay. I was wondering, I thought you were a dude trying to play me, but you're cool, you're good. Okay. I take back what I said earlier. And using that voice, honey. But, yeah, so I think that it is incumbent upon men. You have to be men. You don't have sex and become a man. You become a man and then you have sex. And that means that you are in control of your hormones and your mindset, and you're not a simp. Just to get ladies, oh yeah, I smashed that. Yeah. Whatever the case may be. I'm female. It's okay. Okay, yeah, you're female. Thank you for coming in. Salute to you. I appreciate you for being here. Tell 3 people about me, but don't tell 4. Just let them wonder, who is that goofy nigga with the black hat and the black shirt and the gold tie? What's he about? What? I don't know what he's about. And then let them figure it out on their own. But but tell 3 people. Like, make sure you say, hey, this is goofy nigga on the internet. He be cutting up. He's wilding. But just watch him. And you can share it with other people as well. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so Father's Day. Father's Day yesterday, I mean, the weather, I don't know, the weather for the past 4 or 5 days has been just gorgeous. Not too humid at all. Not humid really at all. I didn't experience any insects, any flying insects, any mosquitoes or anything like that. We didn't go on the grill. Like I said, we used restaurants to nourish our bodies. In Christ's sake, amen. No, not in Christ's sake, for our own sake. But that's what I think is just so powerful about being a father, about being someone that takes on the responsibility, but then goes beyond that. That's my dad. My dad would get the Medal of Honor if there was an honor for being a dad. Like, you can't just, there's some people that do a lot of things and they get far, but not far enough. Like, the Medal of Honor, you have to do a lot. You have to do a whole lot. You have to safeguard people. You have to risk your own life. You have to take out the enemy in certain situations. I mean, there's some situations where it was like you didn't even have to take out the enemy. There was medics that were awarded or have been nominated. I guess is that the right term for the Medal of Honor, and that's what dads are like. Dads can do, Bronze Star, Silver Star. That's good. That's pretty good. That's really good actually. But that Medal of Honor, and it's like, the Navy Cross and the Army Cross, I think it is, and the Air Force Crosses. Those are big too. Those are huge. Those are huge. Medals and awards, but they don't have the same oomph. They don't have the same. Not to detract people from it, but the Medal of Honor is distinct among all of the prizes. Even its civilian equivalent, which is the Presidential Medal of Freedom, that doesn't have as much power as I think the Medal of Honor does. The Medal of Honor has so much more, I think, staying power and so much strength behind it. You have to get up out of your seat. If you're outside and you're a Marine and there's a Marine that was awarded the Medal of Honor, you have to salute that person. Officers salute people, personnel who earn Medals of Honor. So that's just, the reality of it. That's just the truth. But dads are great, obviously. More than my mom was. My mom wasn't there really. When she was alive. She's dead now. She's unalived. but she didn't kill herself. She's just not alive anymore. She really didn't. She wasn't motherly. She wasn't like, I have to be in their life. I want to enjoy being in their life. Not like I got to be in their life just to say I'm in a part of their existence. No, my dad was like, no, I'm gonna be the sole guardian. I'm gonna be the main custody holder, and I'm gonna make sure they have some way about them. My sister graduated with college with honors. I'm a Marine. I think he did a pretty good goddamn job of raising us. He doesn't feel that way sometimes, I'm sure. He doesn't seem that way. But he did. I think he did a great job. He produced, 2 young people, especially my sister and me. And I appreciate him profoundly for that. Because, like I said, my brother-in-law, he has no clue who his dad is. No clue. He could be walking down the street. He said this himself. He could be walking down the street. Somebody could go walk past him, and he could just be like, "Is that my dad?" I don't even know. He'll never know. He'll never know who his father was. And there are so many songs. There's songs like I'll always love my mama, and song for mama, mama, and dear mama, 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 as Chris Rock said. What does daddy get? The big piece of chicken. Well, my dad didn't get the big piece of chicken. My dad made the big piece of chicken, and it was delicious. Like, that's the kind of guy my dad is. He's on another level than most people. He has a different mind frame than most people who call themselves men. They're on a male, kind of idea. He's always been on a manly agenda. He never chased women in the street. He was always with one woman. That was my stepmom, from my memory. After, my mom, my biological mother and he broke up, and they divorced. But yeah, so yesterday was great though. Yesterday was wonderful. We sat out, in my dad has a hammock. He has it not on the 2 trees, but like it comes in a kit, and you put it together. Yeah, and he had his 2 grandchildren with him. My brother-in-law and I, we were just talking about sports and music and stuff like that, and what's going on with business, different things like that nature. And my sister and I were going back and forth about the presents and the gift cards and stuff like that. We were talking about that. So 0 people again. 0 people. 0 people. This is for rebroadcast land. It's 4 likes, but it went all the way down to 0 people. Not 1 person. That's all I can see. It could be somebody watching me right now. Beyond 1 person, it could be 20,000 people, but I wouldn't know because the algorithm is all crazy. Yeah, so I think it's it has a way of affecting me in a different way, because that's usually it. Like, most black, if you black, you probably don't know who your dad was. You live at your mama's house. They don't say at your daddy's house. You say, oh, you live at your mama's house. See, because either your daddy's dead or he's never been around. And like I said, it's been reinforced in hip hop. Even somebody that I think had a relationship with his father, Lupe Fiasco, he had a song, called "I Won't Let You Leave." I think it's called. And he's saying like, be a role model and build real role models or something like that. I think that's one, the heart most mind bending kind of heart. Heated kind of discussions to have is like whether you are a man of color and if you had a dad. My dad had a stepdad that stepped in, no pun intended, but he stepped in the place of my biological grandfather. He was more of a father to my dad than anyone else, really. My dad called him daddy, no matter what. We called him Pop Pop, my sister and I. That was our Pop Pop, our grandfather. And he spoiled the hell out of us. That's what I'm doing to them, my niece and nephew. I'm spoiling the hell out of them. I'm buying them all kind of clothes and toys and stuff like that. It's great. So I think with the advent of personal computers and mobile devices and stuff like that, I mean, I think people have been able to either one way or the other, either tie together frayed ends, or be able to be more involved in their children's lives. There's FaceTime, there's video chats, stuff like that. You can be calling somebody from the space station, say Happy Father's Day, and it'll relate to Earth. So that's how cool it is. How where we are, technologically. I always say, we have 21st century technology, but first century morality. Sadly, that's just the facts. We still think that a man died on a cross, was buried or put in a cave, and was risen from it and ascended into heaven, came back, showed off his wounds, and then went back to heaven. And I guess he's still there right now. I mean, that's how amazingly sad our whole culture is, that we believe that we. I'm saying we. I'm including myself, not as a believer, but I'm just saying that I'm within that era. I'm within that time period. And like I said, my father's a minister. He wholeheartedly believes all this stuff. He'll spout a Bible verse to you real quick and in a hurry. But I can't go down that path. But we had friction. We had times where it was very, contentious. We never fought. We never had like a fisticuffs or anything like that. But it got pretty serious like that. But we have a mutual respect for each other. Like I said, I go to church with him every Sunday. So he's not by himself on Sunday morning. I choose to go to that. I appreciate him to no end. It's no end to the amount of appreciation. That's what Pac said. Now, there's no way I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand you are appreciated. So that's what I say for my father. Dear Papa, that's how I feel about my dad. Even though we have major disagreements and we talk and we fight, argue sometimes, it's still love there. There's still, if anything horrible happened to one of the other, we'd be in shambles, So I think it's very important to say that it is a wonderful job to be a dad, but not everybody can do it. I don't think I can do it. Not now. Maybe when I'm like 85 years old, I get a 22-year-old pregnant. And I tell her, look here, you going to raise this baby, but I'm going to be the main one. I have to be in the child's life. Even at 85 years old, I'm going to be the one. So I think that is very cool. Whoever's in here right now, I see one person in here, put in a 1. Just put a 1 up. You don't have to put anything else. Just put a 1 up in the live chat. Let me know who you are. Who's in here. As a matter of fact, let me do my advertisements. My main man, Peng, has a selection of products on his site, LifeStrongApparel.com. LifeStrongApparel.com. He has his sea moss that's infused with different fruits. And what's so cool about it is they taste really great, but they're really good for you. They're nutrient dense, and they have a lot of, antioxidants and different things that promote health. So make sure you tell him that the goofy guy, Sky Saunders, sent you to his site, LifeStrongApparel.com. And let Peng know, oh yeah, that goofy guy was on the video. He was talking about it. Let me see what your products are like. He has a fruit-infused blueberry sea moss, and he has there's an array of flavors, but there's the one I want to try is mango. I'm gonna try that next. So I tried the blueberry, excellent, tastes great. You're gonna want to try it and tell your friends about it. All right. What do we have next? We have B Jackson, BEEJACKSON 5478 on YouTube. He has sardines on the grill. He's got chicken fried up, and he's doing reviews of near beer. So I want to talk to him about Heineken's near beer. They have an excellent near beer, but that's not part of this conversation. He's a great person online. He's a great personality. He has a great sense of humor. I appreciate everything he does. I appreciate his dollar, to say the least. So make sure you tell B Jackson, BeeJackson on YouTube that this guy Sky Saunders got his back, that he's promoting you and letting him know that people are out there that want to see him. Also, Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. SpiritSmoothTunes. Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. If you like Whitney Houston, Peabo Bryson, Kim, Najee, the Gap Band, the Fatback Band, Earth, Wind and Fire, there's so many names. The Spinners, the Drifters, the Whispers. So many names, so many different titles that have been sampled by multiple hip hop groups. If you like the originals, listen to this catalog that he has amassed, and enjoy it. Enjoy it with a significant other. Y'all can get some wine, have some candles burning, be next to a fire, something like that. If you don't like a fire, have just the heat on blast. I don't know, but just make sure you have a special time, with your significant other. Listen to the musical stylings collected by Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube, and tell them that the goofy guy Sky Saunders sent you. Also, okay, we're going in today. It's about to be serious because I see Son of the Sun. I have to get these advertisements first. Also, twitch.tv/.focus. DOTFOCUS _1_. So it's .focus_. He's a first-person gamer shooter. First-person shooter, I think is what the name is properly. He's a great marksman. He's an expert rifleman on the games as a sniper. So you definitely want to get used to that. Also, you have I think I covered my mind, but check him out. If there's any way to communicate with him, tell him that the goofy guy Sky Saunders sent you. Also, if you want to advertise or sponsor for this site, for this this program, send me an email at skyrlersaunders@gmail.com. We can talk about rates. We can talk about different numbers and stuff like that. And also, you can join the 100 Club, which is the people that have subscribed to my channel. And you actually don't really have to subscribe. You just have to go to 100. Just send me $100 via PayPal, which is paypal.me/skyrlersaunders, and also Venmo at skyrlerized, and also Cash App, my favorite, $skyrlersaunders1. That's just the number 1, not ONE, just 1. So I appreciate you all for that. Thank you for that. Now we have to do this real quick. Is today a free show? Because I'm broke. But I enjoyed talking to you on here. Yeah, this ain't a free show, my friend. This isn't one of the free shows. That's usually on the weekends. Sorry to say it, but that's the reality. I have to get paid. I have to get. This is a money grab. I mean, it's not like a money grab. Like I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do and feel like I do, like and just to get cash. But I put in the work. I put in the time for the main topic, and also for the advertisements and everything like that. And so, not a free show today. But thank you for asking. You're very polite about that, the Son of the Sun. I appreciate your politeness. That's very rare on the internet. You asked. You didn't just come in here saying, my brother. Is this a free show or not? What's going on? I'd have canceled your ass a long time ago, like Nino. But I thank everybody for coming in. It's gonna be probably like in the 30s, maybe 20s. amount of people that showed up. So I appreciate you all. I don't have to sign out, and thank you all for a very, very engaging time period. Take care.